Greetings, I'm Elijah Sun Card 19, and this is another example of a Celtic cross reading. And let's use relationships. So let's say the person is seeking advice on a relationship. So that's going to be the theme of our reading. Okay. So I've cut the deck, and so our first card we have here is the Knight of Cups. And so the person is, if it's the Knight of Cups card, this card can indicate the escalation, the movement of a relationship. So this person has sort of elevated themselves in the relationship in a sense that they've gotten more serious, they're moving along, they're ready to move this thing forward. Okay, so this is sort of a for this card to be upright, it's a really good card to start a relationship on. It says the thing is moving. The crossing card, we have the Nine of Cups. And so you'd ask yourself, well, how can such a positive card like the Nine of Cups be a hurdle of some sort? And usually what I would say is when I see strong positive cards in a somewhat negative position, I look at it as, does this person feel like they deserve the relationship? And so do they feel like they deserve the happiness that goes along with what they're into? Okay, and so that's something that, with a lot of people that have to work on that sense of self-esteem and saying, hey, I'm in a great relationship, things are going right, do I deserve this? And they start to like, whoa, what's going on? This thing's going to mess up anytime now because I know I don't really deserve this happy relationship. So make sure that that issue of deservability is there. A foundation. Here we have the Four of Cups reversed. And so this card would indicate that the person, slide this over a little bit, the person may sort of not appreciate the details. And so this card a lot of times is saying, hey, appreciate the small stuff in the relationship, appreciate the details. I mean, this guy's got a cup being handed to him. It's almost like some people, for whatever reason, when things are going really good in a relationship or just in life, they find ways to sabotage it. And so this is sort of a card that's saying, get out of your own way. Hey, this thing is going great. Get out of your own way. The immediate past, here we have the Two of Swords. And so this card is a crossroads card. This is sort of a stalemate type of card where they've sort of been stuck between a rock and a hard place in a sense, and they really didn't know which direction to go. So this Knight of Cups, because we're in I read this in a continual pattern now, past, present, future. And so this Knight of Cups is a sense where, there is movement, but this person had some sort of roadblock or hurdle that they had to get over to get this thing moving. A message from your higher self. We have the Knight of Swords reverse. And so now we have the two knights on top of each other. So it's sort of an indication that there's sort of opposing directions or opposing energy in a sense where, they are actually both facing the same direction. They're both facing this way towards the future. But it just feels like one person is moving faster than the other for some reason. So this may be a conflict in speed. So if you take a look at these two knights, this knight does have feet off the ground, so it is moving, but it's not full steam ahead like this guy. So a potential conflict could be conflict of movement and timing. One person may be ready to move on faster than the other. A message from the future. Here we have the Emperor card. And so this card can indicate a few things. The typical theme of this card is someone who is a leader, someone who's very strong, or someone who's very fatherly. So this card can indicate, because it's upright, I would take it as a good card to say, hey, I would say the male figure in the relationship, this crossroads to me, going into the Knight, going into the Emperor, would mean like the male figure in the relationship really got their stuff together. You know what I mean? Like this person was sort of on the fence, they weren't behaving properly, and then things got moving, and now that person is really ready to be the king of the castle, ready to be the father that they need to be. The person's role in the situation, we have the Nine of Pentacles reversed. And so this card can indicate that the person is in a situation where they don't feel as independent as they need to be. And so going into a relationship in this situation where you really have to give up a lot of who you are. That's just, I don't know if that's just the way it is, but that's just the way it seems. Like there is a bit of sacrifice that goes into being in a happy relationship. And so it sounds sort of contradictory where it's like, I'm happy, so why am I sacrificing? But I think that you sort of have to give up certain things to get other things. The people around the person, we have the nine of, so now we have two nines against each other. Nine of swords, reversed. And so this situation where it's like there's sort of an anxiety about the relationship. And I think that, you know, there may be some people who are still warning this person about this, the person you're reading for. Someone's still warning them that maybe something about this relationship is not quite ready to go full steam ahead, okay? Especially if they are on two different pages in terms of timing. So I feel like other people are feeling the tension and they're recognizing there's tension in a relationship. Hopes and fears. Here we have the Eight of Cups reversed. And so this card can indicate that, there's sort of a sense where is this thing going to fall apart? Should they walk away? So this crossroads card just keeps coming back in terms of a theme between these two cards and these two cards. Sort of a, this person giving up too much, to really get what they to really be happy in this relationship? Are they sacrificing too much? Maybe. And an outcome card. We have the Five of Swords, and of course we'll pluck another card. We have the Five of Pentacles reverse. Okay, so a lot of cups here. This person deserves to be happy with this Nine of Cups and a Knight of Cups. Really strong way to start the reading. But I feel like there's just sort of more conflict to the situation than what's sort of on the surface. So I feel like this Five of Swords is sort of a trust card where one person is not trusting in the other. And this Five of Pentacles cards can indicate that this relationship could really struggle financially. And so, one person may not be as honest, and one person may not be have as much integrity when it comes to finances, and that could potentially be a problem. Whereas this card is a woman who is very independent and just very strong financially, very responsible. Whereas these two cards up here would, to me, indicate that the other person is not responsible financially. So I would tell this person that they have some things to address. They have some things to think about before really diving into this relationship. Just in terms of giving up your finances and being responsible for the other person financially. Having the anxiety of the people around you, wondering is this person going to be maybe a little too controlling, being too much of a emperor or a king in a sense, and are the two people willing to move at the same speed? So there's just a lot of questions sort of surrounding this relationship. So the outcome cards aren't particularly favorable. Shoot, these last four cards weren't particularly favorable in terms of a relationship. So this person may actually need to leave, but may not be willing to leave just yet. So this Knight of Cups is sort of moving in a happy direction, while this Eight of Cups is sort of saying, I'm moving on. I'm just going in a different direction. I don't know if it's better or not, but I'm ready to move on. So this person has a lot to consider. They have a lot to think about. And that's the point of this Celtic cross reading, is it brings about a large amount of information. You're talking about a past, present, future reading, a foundation, present, higher self type of thing, your role, the people around you, hopes and fears, outcome. There's a lot here. The hurdle. And so maybe the hurdle is that this person may never actually become truly happy in this relationship. And maybe they think they will, or they hope they will, but maybe they won't. So, when I was reading, these first two cards are really positive cards, and then the 4 came out, and it was like, okay, a little bit of caution, what's going on? Then the 2 came out, and it was like, okay, there's a crossroads here. There's some stalemate energy here. Then you get the Knight of Swords reversed, and you start to see like, whoa, okay, maybe on the surface these people are happy, but maybe below there is some tension. And this Nine of Cups, this Nine of Pentacles reversed, is a sense like someone is really giving up a lot to be in this relationship. And then we have anxiety, walking away, distrust, trouble with finances. And it seems like, whoa, all right, maybe this isn't such a great situation. And we only have one major arcana card here. So this is just a card just saying that, hey, maybe seek the advice of a father or some sort of leader in a situation. We have 2 Pentacle cards, but that doesn't seem like to be a big theme in this situation. Just to sort of, just it is a theme of sort of being responsible. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 swords cards, and 1, 2 of them are reversed, and the 5 might as well be reversed. It's not a great card anyway, or a friendly card. So it just seems to be some conflict there, especially with communication. In cups, we have these 2 cups here, and we have this 8 of cups sort of walking away. And only have 2 court cards. So there's not a lot of people involved in the situation. They're not being pulled in different direction by like other people. So 1 major, 2 court cards, 1, 2, 3, 4 cups, 1, 2, 3, 4 swords, 2 pentacles, no wands. Okay, no wands. So that's another clue as far as the speed of this situation. So this wouldn't be a fast-paced thing. If I don't see any wands, that would indicate maybe things shouldn't move as fast, especially with the cups around. So cups and pentacles tend to be a little bit slower than wands and swords, but that's just up to the person to interpret what's fast and slow for their life. I'm Elijah Suncor 19. Thank you for being a part of this lesson and being a part of this school. Hope this lesson has really helped driving home the power of a Celtic cross reading. Alright, love and light.